Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit the notification icon on the right hand side below this video so you can get my weekly tips and tutorials on Microsoft Excel and data analytics. In this video, I will show you simple steps to create a simple drop-down list in Microsoft Excel. To begin, why do we need a drop-down list? Imagine that you have an Excel sheet and you want people to enter their preferences rather than leave it open-ended for your user to type in their preference against each Excel cell. You could create a simple drop-down list of options your user could select. That way, you are able to manage or group their preferences. So, without taking much of your time, let's jump into this right away. So, this is my Microsoft 365 Excel sheet open. Whether you use this current version of Excel or an older version, you should still be able to follow similar steps to create a drop-down list in your Microsoft Excel environment. So let's assume I work in a publishing industry and I usually receive papers from different individuals, and I want to be able to track what the status of the papers I receive with my Excel sheet. So I could either key in those status manually, which could be more difficult to manage, or I could create a drop-down list to be able to manage what's the status of the paper that we are receiving. So to do this, let's assume I want to start with the paper type. I select the cells where I want the drop-down list to appear. And once I select this, I go to my data tab, and within data tab, I go to data validation. And once you click data validation, this default dialog box opens up for you. And within this dialog box, you go to the drop-down under allow. And here I want to change any value to list because it's a list I want to create. And once you select that, then it gives you an option to select the source of this list. So this is where you could either do this manually, or you could select the source from a list of table. So the first step, I'm going to show you how to do it manually. For my paper type, I want to have options of a conference paper, a journal, or let's say a book. And once you're happy with that, you can just enter. And then you see, once you take your cursor within each of the cells here, you see you have drop-down list options, and you could select conference, journal, book, depending on what option that your user wants to select. And that way is a lot easier to manage the status of the paper that you are receiving. Then the second option, let's say I select this as a book, and I select this as conference and all that. So the second method is to key in the source from a list you have created. You could either create a list in the same table environment, or you could go to another sheet and create that list. So I'm going to use this list that I've already created here. Next, again, I select all the cells where I want the list to appear. I go to data, and then I go to data validation. Then I select list from this drop-down menu. And then I would go to this icon here, select it, and then it gives me a list of where I could impute the status. So I would highlight all this and that's it. Once you're happy with it, you say enter and you press OK. And then again, once I take my cursor here, I see within the drop-down list I have all the options that I have created there. So one benefit of this table list method is that I could decide to increase my table list, and let's say I have another column as accepted, and I have another column as published. And then what happens is that Excel will automatically update that as part of my list. So if I go to this cell and select the drop-down menu, you see I now have accepted and published. Unlike the manual method, you have to again go back and enter it manually. So that's why I would prefer using this table list. Again, I could also show you some advanced feature you could add to your drop-down list. So let's say you want to prompt the user or create a tip for the user to know that you have a drop-down list. I could again select all the cells where I have this drop-down list and I go to data validation. And within data validation, you have input message. I want to create a tip to my user. So I could call this input message. I give it a title, say please, or I could say select from list, from drop-down list. And then I would come here and input a message and say, please select option from list. And once I'm happy with that, I hit my OK button. And then once my user comes over here, the item, it prompts the user, please select from the drop-down list, please select option. That way my user already have a tip of what is in this drop-down list. Another advanced feature I could add here is I could add a warning sign to my user. Should the case my user decides to enter wrong status, then there will be a warning immediately to my user. Again, to do that, once I highlight the cells, I go back to my data validation and then I come here, error alert, click on error alert. Again, I could give it a different title, either warning, or I could say select from list. Select from list. Okay, let me give it a different title so we are able to differentiate it. Wrong selection. And then I could say, please select from list. And once I'm happy with this, again, I hit my OK button. So again, when I come here and let's say the user enters the wrong value, say enters booked, and then press the enter key, automatically the system wants the user's wrong selection, please select from list. So the user could either retry or cancel this and make progress with that. So if I click cancel now and it goes off, and then I could select now from the right list I have here. So this is the way you create drop-down list for your user. I hope you find this video useful and you now know how to create drop-down list in your Microsoft Excel. If this video was useful to you, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the notification icon if you want to be notified on my next tutorial. Please also feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if there is any topic you want me to cover in Microsoft Excel, please leave your comment. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye for now.